Hello, this is Mike, NoStressMike.com. Um, I thought I would do a little bit of clarification and try to explain what I think and how I understand the system, the Chinese system, and uh, so this is what I'm going to try to explain. Now, okay, first, China has got, man, a history. I don't know how many thousands of years, this history is, and so it's been around a long time, and it's had many different types of governments, if you want to call them governments, controlling factors, I would say. And so, so China has a different outlook on life. like considering the United States. The United States has been an open type society. It's been open now. It's been open for so long. We're starting to get a lot of riffraff, and not only open bringing these riffraff in, the riffraff is starting to run the country in the way of lawyers. They make stupid laws and all this to make control. Now, so now, see, we've only got, less than 300 years history. So you can imagine thousands of years what the United States is going to be like in 5,000 years. You know what I mean? So it's not going to be anything like it is now. That's basically what's going on with China. Now, one thing to say, well, Mike, you don't know. You know what I mean? I'm no Chinese scholar, and all this kind of stuff. I mean, you'd be completely right. The difference is a scholar would be someone that has studied all this stuff. Okay, now where he gets their information is what past rulers have recorded. So you're getting a slant on what is the truth. You're not getting the truth. You're getting what has been fed to you. You know what I mean? So, and that's not what I'm going to talk about. That's not what I'm talking about. I had to justify. I knew what I was getting into when I came here. I thought. And really I did. I've just never had to live it as much as I've had to, and so that's why it's everything that I knew about or thought about is turning and making sense. I understand, and this is what I want to talk about. Okay, the thing is, China has been ruled by all different kinds of stuff. And I mean, like I say, warlords, governments, and in one of my earlier videos, I talked about that's what's going to happen in the United States. It's going to be divided. They're going to divide the United States up, and different countries are going to take different parts of the United States. And the reason I came up with that is because that's what happened in China, and it's happened not once, not twice, but a whole bunch of times. And like I say, they would have, like say, the different dynasties would come in and be ruled by this type of stuff. Now I understand it a whole lot easier. Like I say, I'm out in southwestern China. It's very, very mountainous. There's few roads, rail. I don't think there's any rail. I took the rail coming out here. It stopped where I came. So, I mean, it's rugged country out here. I mean, I thought the Rockies were rugged. This is pretty bad, and so in other words, they've been the society has been closed off to the rest of the world for reasons. Mostly it's because the physical reasons. Between the oceans, the mountains, and deserts, and this type of stuff, it separates them from the rest of the world. As the rest of the world has been able to get around, they've come into China and they've divided China up, and everybody's taking turns occupying China. So with that, now this has been through the beginning of time, China time. Now remember, how do you control or regulate a population? You get them to snitch on each other. They rat on each other. I saw in war. In war, it's really bad. They get everybody to snitch on each other all the time. But this is what they do. If you want to rule some country, you need to get the population to snitch on each other. Tattletales. That's why I give hell about 911 in the United States. Now, the younger generation, they don't know how to handle a problem. They've been taught they're too damn stupid to dial 911. Here in China, they're taught 119. I think. I've seen the sign, and I think it's an emergency number, 119. And it's already been ingrained in them for thousands of years to snitch on other people. So that's one reason why the Chinese really, you see them in foreign countries, they keep to themselves. They don't like to share a lot of their personal stuff. I'm about the only one that shares a lot of personal stuff. And then again, I'm only half Chinese. So, but and I say so. They know when things. They know the rest of the population will will snitch on them if they do certain things. So they control them like this. And I mentioned when I was in Cuba, they control the food. And that's the same thing here. They control the food, and whoever controls the food is really much in control of everything. And this is why preppers, in the United States, I think only the United States, I don't seen it in other countries, but in the United States, we prepare. I used to have over 6 months supply of food all the time. I kept on hand, and I owned restaurants, but I still had food. And like I say, different countries has occupied it. Okay, the Boxer Rebellion, right around 1900. At that time, Spain had part of it, France, United States, England. I mean, a lot of Hong Kong was part of England. They worked out some kind of deal, and they owned Hong Kong. So that's what I'm saying. Somebody has always had their claws in China. So that's why it's the mentality of the people is the way it is. And there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, if you were brought up like that, that's what you know for generation after generation. Wow, somebody's wanting me. And but the thing is, now with this type of a government that they really have to keep tight control over what's going on. And that's why being a foreigner is not a good thing, because foreigners always have tried to take over China. And so this is why it's the way it is. And you have to understand that. And I understood it when I first started. Before I even come over here, I knew it. But I knew how they were going to do it. And but like I say, I've never lived in that type of environment. Now, even though it's only been 7 weeks, I've lived in the environment. Other than that, it was in Cuba, where I was only there 11 days. But here, I spent more time, and now I understand more about what's going on and how they're doing it. So, there's a price you pay because China is really improved a lot. They're really, I think this is the best in history that China has been. Yes, they still have the rich and aristocrats, and they're if you're in the Communist Party, the leaders, you've got everything. So yes, they still have that, but now the poor aren't poor like they usually are. Even the poor have something now. So the poor really isn't. It's kind of like the United States poor. They're not really poor. Anybody's got cable TV and all that stuff. They're not all that poor. So that's what I'm saying. It's interesting to know and understand how this is. Like I say, I've thought about this, since I was a little kid. I've always wondered how and why and all this stuff. So a lot of this stuff I've had to figure out on my own. But there is a system to it, and it does work for some people. So it's just part of it, and you just have to understand what it is. And I'm learning. This is Mike, NoStressMike.com.